Evening, I'm standing in paradise. That is paradise of Mount Rainier National Park. Behind me, you'll see Mount Rainier. I've been in the vicinity for about a week now as I prepare for a big hike that I have going on tomorrow. I stayed for a number of days in a nearby national forest, the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest, at a campsite called Soda Springs. Kind of sulfuric. I'm not super sure. Yesterday evening, I ended up leaving pretty abruptly against my plans, but I was concerned with smoke building from nearby wildfires. I didn't know if I was in danger there or really what the situation was, so I went ahead and vacated. Well, I haven't even had a chance to introduce you to this campsite yet. I've actually been staying here for a few days, and I was gonna film tonight. I bought a steak and I was gonna cook it and everything. And I've been staying here because I'm prepping for a big hike tomorrow, and I started to kind of collect my things because the plan was to sleep at the trailhead tonight in my car so that I could get a really early start tomorrow. And I was going to leave my campsite set up here so that I can return to it tomorrow after the hike and just have everything already set up and know where I was going to sleep. But as things go out here, they're always changing. You have to be flexible, and there is a fire nearby-ish. As far as I'm aware, I have no cell service here. The nearest place I can get service is 7 miles away. It's 4 miles down a rough dirt road and then another 3 miles into town. And so I think it was like not yesterday, but midday of the day before that I was in town, and I checked the status of the fire, and it was 40% contained, and it wasn't really close to here. But this afternoon, the winds have picked up. I don't know if the fire is actually moving closer or is under more or less containment, or I don't know anything. Like maybe the wind is just bringing the smoke in. Basically, everybody else at this campground is gone. The holiday weekend is over. There is some stuff set up behind me here. Those people left. I think they just like leave their stuff set up to hold a spot and then come on the weekend. I've changed my plans. I'm actually going to entirely break down camp. I still plan to sleep at the trailhead. I still plan to do my hike. That's about an hour away from here, so I think the conditions will be better over there. And then tomorrow, after the hike, I'll either come back here if conditions have improved, or it will be midweek, so I might be able to find someplace else to stay. It's just, you just never know. Like, getting started out from the visitor center in Paradise up the Skyline Trail. This is a very non-technical portion of my hike. It's basically just paved uphill. Think like the streets of San Francisco. But prettier, in my opinion. So I'm going to Camp Muir. Once I hit the Muir snowfield, then my hike will become much more technical. should do it. I know that I can do it, but I'm here alone. Is it safe? I'm feeling very intimidated by this right now. Man, I'm scared. I've made it to about 9,000 feet. It's about 1:30 p.m. I think I'm gonna turn around. I'm not feeling tired. My body can totally keep going. I have everything I need. It's just that I'm by myself and I'm getting into the area where there are crevasses, and I just don't feel confident enough to do this. I think that's okay. It's okay to turn around. It is. Mountain's not going anywhere. Glaciers are disappearing. It's like right there. I really don't know. I really don't want to turn around, but I think it's the right call today. I think it's the right call. Damn it. Okay, I'm done. I finished. Well, back to the car, and I'm gonna catch up with you guys a little bit later. It has been a little bit more than a little bit since I filmed that last shot. When I got done with the hike, I came down the mountain, and they were starting to close the national forest areas in that vicinity because of wildfire danger. My original plans had me headed down the Pacific coast, hiking a bit in Oregon, potentially backpacking the Timberline Trail. That was on my agenda, as well as then heading into the Sierra Nevada. Because of all the wildfires that are devastating the western United States, I decided to leave that area and returned to Utah. I wanted to wrap up this video discussing some thoughts I had, kind of my personal debrief of the hike. I was just interrupted by a large group that's now hanging out in the area that I was filming in. So, and since I'm running out of daylight, I thought I would talk and walk. The reason I wanted to come back on is that I did my own sort of personal debrief about that hike that you just saw. And that's something I typically do. I'm a pretty analytical person, and I credit my ability to learn and not repeatedly make the same mistakes to the fact that I kind of will run through my trips mentally and make notes on what could have been better and what I will do differently next time, so on and so forth. The bottom line with the attempt to reach Camp Muir is that if I were to do it again, I wouldn't turn around. I don't think that it was so much like blatant fear that caused me to turn around. I feel like I was trying to be responsible by other people's standards, and maybe erring too much on the side of caution. I don't regret it. I had a fantastic time. This is just what I've learned moving forward. Here's the deal, and I don't want this to sound arrogant, but out of everyone I talked to on the trail that day, aside from one person who was a professional guide, I was the most prepared person. Knowing my route, having the right gear, having the right skill set, having the right mindset, mostly. Just being well supplied, knowing what to expect. All of those elements were in line. The component that was missing from my mindset was giving myself permission to be that daring and that adventurous. And that's something that I'm still working on, and it's sort of undoing years of conditioning towards cautiousness that I think is less inherent in who I am and more a product of environment. And so I don't want it to hold me back from doing things that I genuinely really, really want to do, and that I am totally prepared to do. So that's just those are just my thoughts on how all of that went down. And I wanted to share that because this is how I learn, is thinking about things in this way after the fact. And this was a lesson that I learned. And next time when I'm in a situation and I analyze it and I cannot find a real or significant cause for concern and need for caution, then I need to check myself and figure out where those thoughts are coming from, and if that's how I want to continue to limit myself. So I thank you so much for watching. I am in Utah now, and there are more adventure videos to come. I've had to rework all of my plans, but such is life. So I'm pretty excited about what's to come, and hopefully you will join me for all of that. I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.